Tom, what are you seeing?
Yvonne, yeah, I mean, as you say, the events have really got underway here now. We can see President Xi Jinping standing on the Gate of Heavenly Peace, symbolically above the portrait of Mao Zedong, who, of course, proclaimed the foundations and the beginnings of the People's Republic of China on the 1st of October 1949. This is a celebration, of course, of 70 years of Communist Party control of China. President Xi Jinping is currently overseeing now troops who are marching along Chang'an Avenue. We've had a multi-gun salute, artillery guns firing off just in the last few seconds. As you say, the military parade is firmly in focus. We're expecting to see about 15,000 troops marching along this main avenue in Beijing, along with a flyover by about 160 fighter aircraft and bombers. A lot of China's nuclear missile capability is expected to be on display as well, potentially the unveiling in public for the first time of a new ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile. But you'll also have surveillance planes and drones as part of this military parade. President Xi has worked to transform the military here, reducing its numbers, but trying to make it a more coordinated military and professional outfit. That is in focus. Really, this is an event that is trying to symbolize and communicate a vision of China for the Communist Party, for President Xi Jinping, and of what they see are the achievements of the last 70 years. But it's not a nuanced picture that we're going to be getting today. They're not going to be talking about some of the darker parts of Communist Party rule here in China over the last 70 years, whether that's the crackdown in Tiananmen Square or the Great Famine that left 45 million people dead in the 1950s and 1960s. This is a focus on the achievements, the economic and political and military achievements that the party claims to have created here in China, and a party that they say is crucial to moving China forward to face the challenges, the domestic and external challenges that the country faces.
Tom, tell me, what has the president been saying ahead of today's events? And naturally, we've got to also dovetail this to perhaps a sore on this day in their view, which is Hong Kong and the political situation here.
Well, it was interesting to see yesterday President Xi Jinping standing in Tiananmen Square along with other senior leaders paying homage to Mao Zedong, drawing a direct line between himself, President Xi, and Mao Zedong, founder of the People's Republic. And it was interesting, of course, because it highlights and underscores that both of these leaders, Mao and Xi, are steeped in Communist Party ideology. And this is something very much that President Xi fervently believes in. And he's talked about being the core of the party and the party being central to China's future. But of course, Mao Zedong is also a leader who is responsible, as I've said, for mass chaos and destruction and the deaths of millions of people during his reign. But nonetheless, it's the ideology and the idea that he is a strong leader that united China that President Xi would have been hoping to highlight by bowing down to him yesterday in his portrait in Tiananmen Square. In terms of the challenges, of course, the protests, the anti-China protests that continue in Hong Kong are a key challenge for Xi Jinping and his leadership team, and then externally, of course, a much more aggressive and robust response from the US on a number of fronts, whether it's technology or security or, of course, trade. All of these issues face President Xi Jinping, who is currently and arguably facing the stiffest set of headwinds since he took over in 2012.